And I'm told Nick Nurse has agreed to a deal to become the next head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. Both the Phoenix Suns and Sixers were engaged with Nurse's agent, Andy Miller, of Clutch Sports today. But ultimately, Nick Nurse goes to Philadelphia. Number one, the chance to coach the MVP, Joel Embiid. And Sixers president GM Daryl Morey, he worked with Nick Nurse in Houston. They have familiarity, history, certainly a lot of history between Nurse and the Sixers during his 5-year run in Toronto, including that 2019 playoff series that on Nurse's way to winning that championship with the Raptors. But for the Sixers, really a significant hiring. Nick Nurse was highly in demand in this marketplace, and now they land Nick Nurse they're working out details of the deal, both Andy Miller and Clutch and the Sixers right now, but he's committed to the Sixers, and now Phoenix's search continues on, but I think for the Sixers to replace Doc Rivers, championship coach in his own right, they're going to hire now another championship coach, Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse, now the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. Woj, thank you so very much. Still to come on our show, who's going to win? Is it the Heat?
You already know my answer.
Who is it going to be? We are hours away from Game 7. America, we want... The Milwaukee Bucks have selected their next head coach. Adrian Griffin, most recently an assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors, is expected to reach a deal with the team soon. That's what sources told our Adrian Wojnarowski. And in recent years, Griffin has become a top head coaching candidate with a 4-year stint with Nick Nurse's staff with the Raptors, and then stops also in Oklahoma City, Orlando, and Chicago. So for more on the Bucks, we're joined by our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, how did the Bucks land on Adrian Griffin here?
Yeah, Malika, Milwaukee's GM, John Horst, when he started this search, was really open-minded to the idea that he might hire an assistant coach, despite the fact, listen, this is a championship team. This is a team with championship aspirations immediately. But he saw the impact Darvin Ham had as a first-year head coach with the Lakers and Will Hardy with the Jazz. So he was very open-minded as he got into a final group that included Nick Nurse, a championship coach with the Raptors, and of course, Kenny Atkinson in their final three. Part of this process, like a lot of teams do now, is to bring in the star player to meet with those coaches. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm told, he had his pens ready, he had notebooks, took copious notes, asked a lot of questions. He's somebody who really respects the position of head coach. And I think with Adrian Griffin, I think it's his leadership presence. I think his ability on the defensive end. You look at the coaches he's worked for, from Scott Skiles to Tom Thibodeau, Billy Donovan, elite defensive coaches, and a coach who gets young players better. He's got a track record there, and that's something the Bucks have to simultaneously do, despite the fact that they're a win-now team with a lot of veterans. I think there was just a sense Adrian Griffin was ready. He had history with John Horst. His first assistant coaching job was in Milwaukee when John Horst was a young executive. And so now they're finalizing that deal. They offered him the job on Saturday, and it won't be long now until he's got a long-term deal to coach the Bucks.
Woj, thank you. Adrian Griffin now at the helm of the Milwaukee Bucks, and there are still several coaching vacancies around the league that we will continue to keep an eye on. Woj, thank you so much. Now we're going to turn to a developing story. The NBA has opened an investigation into longtime referee Eric Lewis involving a Twitter account that's responded to numerous posts on